want to talk very specifically about something which can come up quite frequently, which is somebody being on a respirator, right? Somebody is receiving assistance breathing. Now, their body is still processing the oxygen, right? And still there needs to be input from the body for that oxygen to be effective. But the person is dependent upon that oxygen, upon that respirator for their life. And so the question is it ordinary, is it extraordinary? Well, it depends on the circumstance. If the person is likely to recover and they only need to be on a respirator, say the patient has COVID and they were on a respirator temporarily, and they had a reasonable chance of success, that would be ordinary care, right? You would want to preserve that patient's life. It would be appropriate to put the patient on a respirator if it was truly going to benefit the patient. But in certain cases where the patient is very unlikely to benefit, and the patient is in a situation where there is little hope of recovery, they're not obligated to stay indefinitely on the ventilator. But they should not be forced off of the ventilator. It should be the choice of the patient and their loved ones. And so this is where there's a temptation to play God. We as the medical professionals don't think that you're going to recover, so we're going to take you off life support. That's not your decision to make. That's not your decision to decide. You don't know what's going to happen. Maybe God's going to heal the person, right? You could say, we don't think you're going to recover, so what do you want to do? Do you want to keep the person on life support? But you let the patient and their family and their loved ones make that decision. Because otherwise, medicine is no longer about serving the patient. Medicine becomes an act of improper authority. It becomes essentially dictatorship, right? We get to decide who lives and who dies. No, that's not appropriate. What's appropriate is that we have to serve the patient. We have to minister to the patient. We do have to recognize that people are not obligated to be on a ventilator in circumstances where it's disproportionate and there's not a reasonable hope of benefit.